So, all of your children are married, and you have grandchildren and
18 grandchildren.
18 grandchildren. Tell me about, well, first of all, I guess 18, that might be too many for you to put you on the spot here and name them off. But.
Oh yeah, I can name them all. Charles Hoyt was the first one. Joanne, the second one. And then comes Angela, and then comes Susan, and then comes 3 in a row, Robert and David and
Joseph and Terrell.
Tara, Robert, David, and Tara. Like I always got 3 or 4 at once. See? And then came Cheryl, and then came, Kristen didn't come next. Let's see, Cheryl, and Anita, and Jamie, and Cynthia, and Kristen, and John Paul, David, and Joseph. Is that 18? No, who did I leave out? Oh, Mary Frances. Mary Frances Wilcox. That's the only one I left out. Huh?
Did you say Jason also?
Oh, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason was way down the line. That's right. Jason's down there with, and then Lauren. Lauren is the 18th one.
Right. Now, so here's the big question. Who's your favorite grandchild?
Favorite?
Grandchild.
Well, Jason says that he is. I don't know. But I don't have any favorites. And then they used to say little Charlie was, because he was the first one. And he was so good when he was little. I think he was everybody's favorite.
So, have your children turned out to be good parents?
Children
Have your children turned out to be good parents, do you think?
Good parents, I think they are.
Yeah. Is there anything...
I don't see any, except they won't put T-shirts on their children in the wintertime, and that's what gives them so many colds. And I'm going to get on the Oprah show and tell about that. That's why all these children... Don't you wear a T-shirt?
I do.
Yeah, well, men do wear them. And women wear underwear. Why not the children? I can't understand it.
And how many great-grandchildren do you have?
I've got 37, and then I've got a step great-grandchild, I guess you call it. But I got the picture up there of that he is so cute. Let me show it to you. I guess I'll have to clean him.
Oh,
Isn't he pretty? Caitlin's little brother.
Yep. Beautiful.
He sends me a Christmas card.
How about that? Let's see. So, what about your sons-in-laws and daughter-in-laws? And
Well, so far they're doing all right.
And obviously, I won't put you on the spot, but asking who the favorite in-law in the family. I know that it's me. But,
Yeah, of
okay.
course, that's...
You want to take a break?
According to Cheryl, you're pretty.
Well, so tell me, Mema, about. It's not going to be. There's not time on this tape, I guess, to really talk about all the grandchildren individually. But I hear a lot of stories about when the kids spent time with you in this house on Reed Street. Were those special times?
They would come. Well, on holidays, they'd all get together. You know how yours get together and plan on who's going to spend the night. It would end up. They would. I don't know how many of them would spend the night, and we'd have pallets, and then, not having a car, we would walk. Well, a big treat was walk to the Krispy Kreme and get a donut. So then they only cost about a dime, I think, anyway. So we'd do that. We'd ride the bus to the mall. None of them have ever been on a bus unless I took them. I don't think rode a bus, but I gave all of them a turn. And then I kept Terrell till he was about 3, I guess, and then I kept he and Kristen both. And I was babysitting all the time. I loved every minute of it, though. And not driving the car was it didn't bother me, really. I'd ride the bus out to Overlook. They had a bus go right to the corner. And so I was babysitting either for Texie or Charlie. Babysitting little Charlie, Susan. And there's only one, let's see, Jamie was the only grandchild that I didn't see. That was I thought that was terrible. I wasn't in Mobile, I was in Minnesota. No, I didn't. I was in Chicago. When she was born, I didn't see her till she was about a month old. But I got to go to the hospital to see all of them. And they were pretty good grandchildren. Let's see, they all were outstanding at school.
I'm sure you're proud of all of them.
Yeah, well, of the grandchildren, let's see, little Charlie had a scholarship. Robert had one to West Point. Anita had one, ROTC scholarship. And Susan's she did not finish college, but she almost finished, and she does very well. And Joseph had Army scholarship, and he's going to finish school someday, I hope. He and David and John Paul and Lauren are the only ones that hadn't finished college.
Wow. They're all outstanding people. I've enjoyed meeting them all, and I know you're really proud.
To what?
I just said I know you're very proud of your grandchildren.
I am. If I just could get a hearing aid that worked, I'd be.
Oh boy.
And those so far, the great grandchildren are just doing very well.
Wow. Well, I know
I thought I would bring something up about that Hannah hadn't heard of, and I said, during World War II we had ration books. She said, yeah, I know all about it. I said, did you learn what color they were? And Bobby was amazed at this because I told him. She said, yes, they were white and blue and red. And I said, well, she didn't know what they were for, but I said, the blue ones were, the blue ones were for canned goods, I think. And the white ones, if I remember right, the red ones were for meat. And then you had 2 pair of shoes a year, leather shoes. That's how she learned that in American Girl, she said.
She reads constantly.
About the ration books. And I had some. Texie got one when she was 3 months old. So she got all the things that they didn't distinguish the age, I guess. So we had all the points I'd give them. We couldn't use all of ours, really, except, I think you could get so much milk. And I had to save for Texas to have her milk. But we couldn't afford to buy over 2 pair of shoes. But you could get some kind of, but for leather shoes, you could get 2 pair a person a year.
Hannah knew all that from reading books about World War II.
You read all that in books?
Hannah's been reading that. Wow. Well, I know my children love you, and they'll love to hear about that.
I think all of them like me, except they're making friends with me, but some of them have never seen old people before, I believe. And they don't know what to think of me, because Colleen hadn't been around any old people. See, Laura's young, Sarah's young, and then the other Mema, she's not near as old as I am, and she doesn't look like a dried old lady up either. But I don't think but now they're beginning to, after they're around anymore, Cecilia's getting, so she'll let me, when Tex is not around, of course she goes to Texas first. But Colleen, she'll tease me for a while, she said no, and then when she gets to read, she'll come over and love me.
Wow.